Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round three, the final round of our league tournament that happened at Die Hard Games on April 17th, 2025. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. Destined Rivals pre-releases start Saturday, May 17th at 1 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in this video's description and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as league challenges, league cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick. Subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. Where on the player on the left had a mulligan, so the player on the right is drawing an extra card before the start of the game. Because of that, now we get the fist bump and get going. With our player on the left, our Slowking player versus Raging Bolt on the right. On the left, Tatsugiri in the active spot, Slowpoke on the bench. Latias EX with Skyliner comes into play now, giving all basics no retreat cost. Maybe that could be held until we actually are going to retreat. But either way, Psychic Energy attached to the bench Slowpoke, and then an Ultra Ball, discarding a Cyphers, and Jet Energy to search the deck for and have any Pokemon to put into their hand. And it's going to be that Squawkabilly EX to match the one across from it. And its Squawk and Seize ability can only be used on the first turn, your first turn, but when you do, you discard your hand and draw 6 fresh new cards. So looking okay for the setup for our Slowking player here on the left. Looks like they're going for that Squawk and Seize, discarding the hand and drawing 6 fresh new cards. Supporter for next turn, looking for a Xatu, and they found that Buddy Buddy Poffin. That allows them to search their deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less. So one's going to be that Natu, and a backup Slowpoke. Nearly flawless start for our Slowking player here on the left. Don't think there's much else to do here. You could do the Tatsugiri ability to thin another card out of the deck, but with the research in hand, I could see merit to not doing so. But they're going to actually go for it and draw the cards. Card advantage is powerful in the Pokemon trading card game. So Tatsugiri uses attract customers, look at the top six cards of the deck, and find a supporter there to add to the hand. Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking will be the supporter. So they've got options for next turn at least. And then they pass over to our Raging Bolt player on the right. Squawkabilly EX in the active spot. Teomask Ogerpon EX hits the bench, and another Pokemon will join it shortly here with this Nest Ball being played, searching for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. If your bench is full, can you legally play a Nest Ball? Pop quiz, let me know in the comments. Winner gets a high five or a fist bump as they find a Raging Bolt to put onto the bench here. The namesake of the deck needs to be established, right? Let's see what else our player can develop here on their first turn, because they've got a Squawkabilly EX Squawk and Seize still. So Ultra Ball, discarding 2 cards to search the deck for a Pokemon, Basic or Evolution. All basics in this iteration of the deck, I believe. I have to get this list here as they search their deck for a Pokemon to put down. Either a Bolt or a Ogerpon. Just depends on what's in hand, what's prized, and their strategy. They go for that second Raging Bolt, which is really good. You want to have the 2 ancient Pokemon in play for the Professor Sada's Vitality, if you can, alongside the 2 basic energy in the discard pile that the Professor Sada's Vitality likes to accelerate. Come and play some Pokemon cards on Thursday and you can get your prize packs. Don't even have to play in the tournament. As Pokemon Catcher is played now, flip a coin, tails, so blank card. Really, you got to use a transparent, translucent randomizer, but these dice are good to go as our player on the left confirms, yep, it's going to be tails no matter what. So Professor Sada's Vitality being played now, accelerating just a fighting energy this time to the ancient tagged Raging Bolt EX on the bench, and then drawing 3 cards with that supporter card. Oh, third Raging Bolt. Second Ogre Pawn found, put onto the bench, and then Squawk and Seize. Oh no, having to discard another Professor Sada's Vitality, but drawing 6 fresh new cards, keeping this turn rolling here. As Teal Dance accelerates an energy to Teal Mask Ogre Pawn, a grass energy, and then draws a card with its ability. ×2 here is that second Teal Mask Ogre Pawn on the bench, gets a grass energy accelerated to it, and draws a card with its ability. Energy attached per turn, lightning to the bench, Raging Bolt EX, basic switch moves it into the active spot, and they've got 280 damage on turn 1 if they wanted, just like that. The Raging Bolt EX has the Bellowing Thunder attack. Discard any number of basic energy from your side of the field and do 70 times the amount of that damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. Just one needed to be discarded there to knock out Tatsugiri. Squawkabilly EX moves into the active spot on the left to take its place, and play resumes there on this side. Xatu evolves on the bench now. Its Clairvoyant Sense ability online, so long as there's psychic energy in hand, and there is. We'll talk more about it as it becomes relevant, but first some synergy here with this Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking. That supporter card allows you to look through your deck for 2 cards, put them on top of your shuffled deck in any order, legally stacking the deck here. This computer scientist is. As the player looks through their deck for the best 2 cards for this turn, assessing their hand. This is probably a turning point in the game here already for our Slowking player that needs to do a little more maintenance during their turns than the basic Raging Bolt deck does, all basics Raging Bolt deck does. So they're going to think pretty hard about this one here. What are the best 2 cards? We could talk about Xatu's ability, Clairvoyant Sense, while they think. Once during your turn, you may attach basic psychic energy from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. If you attach an energy this way, draw 2 cards. So that's how they're going to draw the 2 cards they choose and put on top of the deck with the Cypher Maniacs. But hopefully they have the rest of the combo pieces in hand. It's just, do they think they can attack with the Slowking this turn? We could talk about Slowking's attack too. Seek inspiration for 2 energy, discard the top card of your deck, and if that card is a Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box, choose one of its attacks and use it as this attack. So you see, it's definitely more so a combo-based deck. This Slowking deck is very cool, though. It's on my list still of post-rotation decks to build. As our player decides on their 2 cards here, with the Cypher Maniacs, goes to the top there. And a Clairvoyant Sense, accelerating a Psychic Energy to the Slowpoke on the bench to draw those 2 cards. Budew and another Natu. That Budew hits the board now. Slowking, oh, it was a Slowking, excuse me, Slowking put on top with Ciphers and evolved on the bench now. Seeking inspiration, here it is. It can Super Cycle in a pinch if needed. Reversal energy attached to the other Slowpoke. Squawkabilly free retreats thanks to Latias EX and Skyliner into that Budew, and it's time to start item locking. Itchy Pollen for free, 10 damage. The opponent cannot play items on their next turn. So Raging Bolt player probably looking at a handful of items here. Good thing they have a Crispin in hand. The item lock bail outer Spicy Boy that allows you to search your deck for 2 different basic energy cards, different types of basic energy cards. Put one of them in your hand and then accelerate one to one of your Pokemon. So Lightning accelerated to the bench there, Fighting put into the hand. Then that Fighting gets instantly attached to that bench Raging Bolt that received the Lightning as well. Cooking up a storm here as Bellowing Thunder, yep, discards just 1 energy, basic energy from a Teal Mask Ogre Pond to KO the opposing Budew. Squawkabilly EX moves to the active spot on the left and play resumes there. Can we get the inspiration we need to take a one shot on this opposing Raging Bolt? Kind of scary because there's a replacement one on the bench powered up already, but you gotta take one step at a time, one knockout at a time to take all your six prize cards and win the game. Here in the Pokemon trading card game, round three of the Friendly League tournament. We're thinking about a clairvoyant sense on the left, I think. I suppose. Yep, because there's that psychic in hand. That could inform your research. That's the debate. Do I play research or Iono first before this clairvoyant sense? I'm going to accelerate an energy to the Latias with that Zatu and then draw two cards. Ah, man. Not really much help from the top of the deck there. You probably have too many resources in hand to research. So it might be an Iono angle here. Say that 5 times fast as our player plays a Buddy Buddy Poffin. Searching the deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, just one here, basic Pokemon, since the bench is almost full with one spot remaining. You could still play the Poffin to find one Pokemon with 70 HP or less, and it's going to be that itchy Pollen Budew hitting the board again. So at least there's a Budew attack, if the supporter doesn't find all the combo pieces needed for Slowking to get in there this turn. And yep, Iono. Disrupting the opponent a little bit, preserving cards in your hand, shuffling. Both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw 6 cards from the top. Another Slowking, or excuse me, draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. 6 for our player on the left, 4 for our player on the right with this Iono this time. Slowking is found, okay, and evolved on the bench. That Squawkabilly retreats thanks to Skyliner into the Slowking with the reversal energy that is live right now. Ultra Ball discards 2 Professor's Research to search the deck for a Pokemon. But is the Academy at Night Stadium in hand? It must be, as the Conkeldurr is found. Conkeldurr, I'm going to say Conkeldurr. That gets put into the hand with the Ultra Ball here. Now the Academy at Night Stadium comes down. That allows the player to put a card from their hand onto the top of the deck. See the synergy in the combo happening here? Conkeldurr gets put to the top of the deck. And then the reversal energy is live. If the opponent has fewer remaining prize cards than you, the reversal energy counts as 3 energy of any type if it's attached to evolution non-rule box Pokemon. Slowking, of course, fits that. So Slowking can use its Seek Inspiration attack to discard the top card of the deck. And what do you know? It's that Conkeldurr. It gets discarded, so then the player chooses to use Conkeldurr's Gutsy Swing attack, through the Slowking Seek Inspiration, in order to deal 250 damage to the opponent's Pokemon. That KOs a Raging Bolt for 2 prize cards. Can the Slowking train keep up as Raging Bolt on the right stomps into the active spot and play resumes on their side? Slowking is a 1 prizer 2, so that's always an advantage, but there are 2 pretty weak 2 prizers on the opponent's board, the Slowking's board in that Latias EX and Squawkabilly EX. So our player on the right for their turn puts a Mew down on the bench and then plays Pokegear 3.0 to look at the top 7 cards of the deck, hunting for a supporter here. And they find that Professor Sada's Vitality. Okay, maybe a gusting card like a boss's orders would be a little more desired if the required energy is in hand already, but you've got the potentially prime catcher, Pokemon catchers that could still be found and used. So just keep chugging along. Professor Sada's Vitality accelerates energy from the discard pile to 2 ancient Pokemon in play, Lightning on the bench, Raging Bolt, and Fighting on the active Raging Bolt, both ancient tagged. The Jamming Tower gets put into play. That makes tool cards in play have no effect, both yours and your opponent's, but most importantly here, it's countering the Academy at Night. Only one stadium can be in play at a time, so the Academy at Night gets sent to the discard pile. It's part of the Slowking's crucial combo here. Can still be done with ciphers, though, as that jamming tower is in play in another Pokegear 3.0. Playing items while they can, I guess. Don't need a supporter right now, but play the items because Badu could be coming with its item lock. Pokegear 3.0 this time finds that boss's orders. That'll get added to the hand for future turn, saying, hey, putting pressure on the opponent, saying, hey, you have to disrupt my hand. If not, I got that boss coming for your two prizers on the bench. Or whatever, I need to take out like your other Slowking or something that's hiding on the bench to almost solidify checkmate in this round 3. All right, nothing else to do but Bellowing Thunder, discarding 2 energy to do 140 damage to KO the opposing Slowking. Discarded from the active here. Another prize card taken. Budu on the left rolls into the active spot and play resumes there. Budu's got free retreat. Latias gives the basics free retreat. Xatu accelerates to the bench as Psychic Energy, bench to Latias with its ability, and then it draws 2 cards with Clairvoyant Sense, of course. Getting that Latias ready to go in there. We'll have to look up Latias's attack if it becomes relevant. As our player checks out their hand on the left. There is the Academy at Night. But yeah, the Slowking's ready to attack, but we're just missing the required attacker. So Academy at Night will get put into play, countering that jamming tower. Stadium Wars are real. No, there's an Ultra Ball. Okay. So that can find our attacker, but at what cost? Ugh. Yeah, because you want to set up another Slowpoke this turn if you can. But they're going to have to forego that, getting rid of the Buddy Buddy Poffin and Jet Energy with the Ultra Ball to search the deck for a Pokemon to put into the hand. Basic Revolution. And is there another Conkeldurr? Was there? I thought I might have saw one, but maybe not. Either way, the Kyurem will be found with the Ultra Ball. And we're going for a Trifrost here. Let's see if there's nothing else to do but this. So retreat Budu into the Slowking, the lone Slowking, unfortunately here. That's crucial to take note of. Man, maybe they should have got rid of that other card. What was that other card in favor of the Buddy Buddy Poffin? Yeah, you could have got rid of that Xatu. I think it was a Xatu, and then played the Poffin to get a backup Slowpoke down at least. Maybe. Could be something to consider. Either way, Budu into that, retreats into that Slowking. Yeah, yeah, I probably would have got rid of the Xatu and did the Poffin potentially. Yeah, you're committed to the sequence now of Trifrosting, I think, as the Slowking player. Conkeldurr's attack would be better to take a KO, but this will set up game with 2 Trifrosts in a row. It's just going to be hard to do with quickly with just one Slowpoke in play, potentially getting knocked out on your opponent's next turn. Either way, Slowking uses Seek Inspiration, discarding the top card of the deck that was just put there with the Academy at Night, and it's that Kyurem and its Trifrost attack being used now. Trifrost has you discard the energy from that Pokemon from the Slowking in order to deal 110 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon and to 2 of their bench Pokemon. So you could see there's the 4 prize cards remaining can be taken here in one more Trifrost attack as 110 goes onto the active Raging Bolt, 110 onto the bench Mew EX, and 110 onto the bench Squawkabilly EX. 6 prize cards even with another Trifrost. As things currently are, either way, our Raging Bolt player on the right starts their next turn. I think they just want to KO this Slowking if they can. No more Thornton in the format to worry about either. The opponent has just a one prize hand or one card hand. So they don't, they don't have too many resources to work with. So boss's orders, okay, interesting. Boss's orders brings up the Zatu from the bench into the active spot. That's how you can get a Slowking attacking and get more cards in hand. I probably would have taken out the Slowking myself, but maybe that's just too aggressive. As they play a Ultra Ball, now discarding two cards on the right to search their deck for a Pokemon. Failing the Ultra Ball, just thinning the cards out of the deck with that Ultra Ball this time and maybe seeing what's in there, what options are available for now and future. As their line is to take out this Zatu. All right, the draw with Mew. Oh, they were also thinning their hand down with the Ultra Ball to be able to use Mew's Restart to draw up to three cards. Restart finds the the fighting energy that gets attached to the active. The lucky Raging Bolt in the active spot now, and that well-trained Mew finding that fighting energy that was needed to power up the Raging Bolt in the active spot with its restart ability. KO is on board. Anything else to do? Nope. Bellowing Thunder, discard two lightning energy to deal 140 to the Zatu, knocking it out. Budu rolls into the active spot once more on the left, and play resumes there. The Slowking survived, but uh, no way to accelerate, not much in hand. No way to accelerate with the Zatu gone, of course. Not much in hand, so just an Itchy Pollen for 10 damage, and the opponent cannot play items. Let me know if I've missed someone playing items under item lock. That's so hard to keep track of for some reason. I just need to play more with Budu and the item lock, I suppose. As our Raging Bolt player on the right looks at their hand and tries to figure out what to do. We just need an energy card. Boss's order, the correct energy card, I guess. Boss's order is being played now to bring up the Slowking. Going all in here with, aha, they're using the first attack on the Raging Bolt EX, the Burst Roar. Discard your hand and draw 6 fresh new cards. Okay, and I guess you're okay to play it a little slow now. The opponent has a Slowking, but no Zatu in play. So no way to charge up the Slowking that's in the active spot, of course, too, because Zatu can only accelerate to the bench, I believe. Yep. So that this is all right. Kind of a boss stall, kind of preventing or playing around a potential Zatu, but I mean there's no Natu down, so our Raging Bolt player is probably pretty far ahead here. But our Slowking player on the left did find a Natu to put down on the bench at least on their current turn. And then nothing else to do but pass from there. Now Raging Bolt finds that lightning energy that was needed, attaches it to the active Raging Bolt, fully powering it up. It's missed some kind of draw there. Sorry guys for going through time here. I want to make sure I catch everything here in the professor's lab today. With this Natu bench, we went back a little bit here. Thank you for your patience as I'm not paying attention. And then passed. Okay, that was just the draw for turn. Our Raging Bolt player got a little excited, didn't draw for turn. They attached that lightning energy from hand to the active. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to draw for turn. And that's why we saw another card draw there. I would have been excited too, having the correct energy. And then this Pokemon catcher flipping a coin, tails, blank card. Another Pokemon catcher flipped another tails, blank card. 3 tails on these catchers this game, I believe, as the Ogerpon on the bench uses Teal Dance, Accelerate, and Energy to itself. Draw a card, energy retrieval found, Gets back a couple basic energy cards from the discard pile to the hand. Another teal dance, accelerating energy to that ogre pawn. Grass energy, drawing a card. Jamming tower put into play, countering the Academy at night, closing the door on this Slowking deck with two prize cards remaining. They were going for the win there with that Pokemon catcher, but they'll take this Bellowing Thunder KO on the lone Slowking now. Discarding two cards, 140 damage, knock out the Slowking with Bellowing Thunder, going down to one prize. Squawkabilly EX flies into the active spot on the left, and play resumes there with just like nothing to do. You can Ultra Ball for a Slowpoke, but the opponent just has one prize card. You still force them to have a Lightning Energy, though, to attack with the Raging Bolt. So just free retreat into the Budu, evolve into the Xatu. Now we're not quite free retreating yet. Xatu will still get evolved, of course. There's way to find Lightning Energy. Our opponent, our player on the right is revealing now as our players are discussing, and it looks like the concession was offered to our Raging Bolt player here in our round 3 to close out this tournament. Top 4 of our league tournament this time was our Gardevoir player, featured in another video. Second place was our Raging Bolt player here. Third place was our Archaludon player, featured in another video. And fourth was our Slowking player. Congrats to our league tournament champ and to you all for playing some Pokemon. Thank you. What do you think of this video and the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our players for letting their game be captured so we can all learn and enjoy. And I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.